and how hormones control the menstrual cycle. Today, we're going to break down periods and puberty in a simple, science-based way. From the very first period to the role of hormones like estrogen and FSH, we'll explain everything step by step. What is menstruation? Periods. Menstruation, often called a period, is a normal and natural part of the female reproductive system. It is the monthly vaginal bleeding that happens when the lining of the uterus is shed. Every month, the female body prepares for a possible pregnancy. The uterus, which is a muscular organ, builds up a thick lining full of blood vessels to support a fertilized egg. But if pregnancy doesn't happen, the body has to remove this lining. The result is menstruation, the shedding of blood and tissue from the uterus, which exits through the vagina. For most women, menstruation happens once a month and usually lasts 3 to 8 days. The amount of blood loss varies, but on average it is about 30 to 40 milliliters, or around 2 to 3 tablespoons. Periods are not a sign of illness. Instead, they are a clear sign that the female reproductive system is functioning normally. Puberty and the first period. Puberty is the stage of life when a girl's body begins to change into that of an adult woman. It is controlled by hormones and usually begins between the ages of 8 and 13. One of the most important milestones of puberty is menarche, which means the first menstrual period. Most girls get their first period about 2 years after their breasts start developing. This usually happens between ages 10 and 15, although it can be earlier or later depending on genetics, nutrition, and overall health. During puberty, breasts develop. Hair grows under the arms and in the pubic area. The body grows taller and hips widen. The menstrual cycle begins. Every girl's body has its own schedule. Some may start earlier, some later, and both are completely normal. The role of the brain and hormones. Periods and the menstrual cycle are not just about the uterus or ovaries. They are controlled by a delicate communication system between the brain and the reproductive organs. Two structures in the brain play a key role. 1. Hypothalamus acts like a command center, signaling when to start the cycle. 2. Pituitary gland, located at the base of the brain, it releases hormones that control the ovaries. The two main hormones from the pituitary gland are FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, stimulates the ovaries to produce eggs. LH, luteinizing hormone, triggers ovulation, the release of an egg. The ovaries themselves produce two key hormones. Estrogen builds up the uterine lining. Progesterone maintains the lining for possible pregnancy. This hormonal teamwork ensures that the menstrual cycle runs smoothly. Phases of the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is not just about bleeding. It is a complex series of events that repeats about every 28 days. Though cycles between 21 and 35 days are also normal. Let's break it down into phases. 1. Menstrual phase, days 1 to 5. This is the period itself, starting on day 1 of bleeding. The uterus sheds its lining because there is no pregnancy. Hormone levels, estrogen and progesterone, are low. 2. Follicular phase, days 1 to 14, begins at the same time as menstruation but continues after bleeding stops. The pituitary gland releases FSH, which helps a group of follicles in the ovaries mature. One follicle becomes dominant and prepares to release an egg. The maturing follicle produces estrogen, which helps rebuild the uterine lining. 3. Ovulation phase, around day 14 in a 28-day cycle. A surge in LH causes the mature follicle to release an egg. The egg travels into the fallopian tube, waiting to be fertilized. This is the most fertile phase for women. 4. Luteal phase, days 15 to 28. After ovulation, the empty follicle becomes the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone. Progesterone thickens the uterine lining even more, preparing for pregnancy. If the egg is not fertilized, the corpus luteum breaks down, progesterone drops and the cycle starts again with menstruation. Why periods happen every month? The monthly rhythm is the body's way of preparing for pregnancy. Each cycle is like a practice run. If fertilization happens, the egg implants in the uterus and pregnancy begins. If not, the body resets by shedding the lining, leading to menstruation. This cycle continues every month from puberty until around age 50 to 51, when menopause begins. Common experiences. During periods are normal, but they come with some common symptoms. Cramps caused by uterine muscles contracting, bloating due to hormonal changes and fluid retention, mood changes. Hormones affect the brain and emotions. Headaches or fatigue, result of hormonal shifts and blood loss. These symptoms are part of PMS, premenstrual syndrome, and affect many women in different ways. Myths and facts about periods. 1. Myth: periods are dirty. Fact: menstrual blood is just normal blood and tissue from the uterus. 2. Myth: you cannot get pregnant during your period. Fact: it is less likely but still possible, especially if cycles are irregular. 3. Myth: all women have 28-day cycles. Fact: cycles vary from 21 to 35 days, and that is normal. 4th myth: exercise should be avoided during periods. Fact: light exercise can actually reduce cramps and improve mood. Why understanding periods is important. Periods are more than just monthly bleeding. They are an indicator of a woman's overall health. Irregular cycles, extremely painful periods, or missed periods can signal health conditions like PCOS, thyroid issues, or anemia. By understanding menstruation, girls can manage puberty with confidence. Women can track their health better. Society can break the stigma around periods. Puberty, hormones, and emotional changes. Puberty is not just physical, it's emotional too. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone affect mood, energy levels, and even brain development. Girls may feel more sensitive or emotional, changes in sleep patterns, curiosity about their changing bodies. It's important for parents, teachers, and communities to provide support and education so that girls understand what's happening and feel confident about their health. Long-term cycle and menopause. The menstrual cycle usually continues from puberty until around age 50 to 51, when menopause begins. Menopause is when the ovaries stop releasing eggs and periods stop permanently. It marks the end of the reproductive years. This transition is natural and is also controlled by changes in hormones. So, to sum up, menstruation and puberty are natural processes controlled by a beautiful system of hormones and organs. Periods may sometimes feel uncomfortable, but they are signs of a healthy body preparing for life. By understanding the menstrual cycle, we can break myths, reduce stigma, and support women's health better. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more science-based videos on health and biology.